Welcome to episode 8 of 96 American Spirituals for Ukulele. This progressive course begins with the simplest 2-chord songs and works up through 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9-chord songs. You'll learn new chords all along the way, as well as strumming and fingerpicking techniques, all while exploring a rich heritage of moving, inspirational, and even humorous American spirituals. A big thank you to my patrons who help make all my videos possible. You will have access to a free PDF of today's spiritual at patreon.com/uke. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today we will be diving into good news. As always, we'll start with a playthrough and then cover any new chords and techniques. Our beginning note is A. The open first string. And our opening chord is an F. Here we go. 1 and 2 and... Good news, the chariot's coming, good news, the chariot's coming, good news, the chariot's coming, and I don't want it to leave me behind. There's a long white robe in heaven, I know. There's a long white robe in heaven, I know. There's a long white robe in heaven, I know. And I don't want it to leave me behind. Good news, the chariot's coming, good news. The chariot's coming, good news. The chariot's coming, and I don't want it to leave me behind. There's a starry crown in heaven, I know. There's a starry crown in heaven, I know. There's a starry crown in heaven, I know. And I don't want it to leave me behind. Good news, the chariot's coming, good news. The chariot's coming, good news. The chariot's coming, and I don't want it to leave me behind. There's a golden harp in heaven, I know. There's a golden harp in heaven, I know. There's a golden harp in heaven, I know. And I don't want it to leave me behind. Good news, the chariot's coming, good news. The chariot's coming, good news. The chariot's coming, and I don't want it to leave me behind. Good news, the chariot's coming, good news. The chariot's coming, good news. The chariot's coming, and I don't want it to leave me behind. All right, there you go, good news. As far as the chords go on good news, we have F and C7, perhaps the easiest 2-chord pair on the face of the planet. To make it even easier, you could use an F add 9, which is just the first finger on the first fret of the second string. And then with the C7 on the first finger of the first string, you're really only using one finger back and forth between those two. So you can substitute that other chord, F add 9, for an F chord in this song if you like the sound of it. I do. It's kind of sparkly. Let me give you a chorus with the F add 9 in its place. Good news, the chariot's coming, good news. The chariot's coming, good news. The chariot's coming, and I don't want it to leave me behind. I like it, and I use it a lot with really brand new students, these 2 pairs. I have a whole series of chords with F and C7. A lot of them you can actually use the F add 9 in its place. And so this is great for people picking up ukulele on their first day and learning a song on their very first day. Now, as far as our strumming technique in here, basically we have just, on the choruses, we've just got our Chattanooga strum that we've already talked about quite a bit. Chattanooga, 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 Chattanooga. They're all down-ups. Down, up, 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 down, up. But we're putting an accent on beats 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, the easier way to do that is just to use the word Chattanooga. Chattanooga, 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 Chattanooga. With the accent coming on the nooga. Right? Okay, so practice up your Chattanooga strum. It's super useful. hundreds and hundreds of times, right? Okay? Program it into that muscle memory so that you don't have to worry about it at all. You can just think about singing the song. And the same goes with chord pairs. Practice them over and over and over again until you feel very comfortable with them, and you can just play them while you're talking to people. If you're able to make those chord transitions fast and without thinking about it anymore, then you've got it in a good place for you to use them in a song. Now, as far as the other right hand technique that I was doing on the verses, I was doing a very let me go back here. I was doing a very simple finger picking pattern, which is the third fret. Not the third fret, the third string being plucked by the thumb, followed by strings 1 and 2 being plucked together by the first and the second finger, right? So we got 3, 1, and 2. I do it 3, 12 because that's 1 and 2 together, right? 12, 3, 12, 3, 12, 3, 12. And this has a very jaunty feeling, right? It's one of those 3-string techniques where we're completely ignoring string number 4. Now you could change this up and use that other version of F that I taught in the last lesson, where you put your pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Right? And then you could do 3, 12, 4, 12, 3, 12, 4, 12. And this would give you a little bit more variation. I don't know that it's necessary, but if you're interested in spicing that up a little bit, right? Let me show you what this will sound like. Oh, and if you're going to do this version of F, then you'll want to do a different version of C7 as well. You'll want to keep that pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and then you'll just want to move your 2nd finger from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret on the 4th string. And so this is 3, 0, 0, 3, and we have a different version of C7 now, right? Instead of 0, 0, 0, 1, we have 3, 0, 0, 3. Right? Let me show you what this is going to sound like if you do it. There's a long white... I'm on golden harp, aren't I? There's a golden harp in heaven, I know. There's a golden harp in heaven, I know. There's a golden harp in heaven, I know. And I don't want it to leave me behind. Right? And then back to good news. All right, so that's completely optional if you want to do that, but it is a way to add in a little bit more to it, and perhaps you like the more sophisticated sound of that. Hardly more sophisticated, but a little bit, tiny bit, right? I personally actually really like just this kind of back and forth. There's a golden harp in heaven, I know, right? So if you want to go the easy route, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, 3, 12, 3, 12, as opposed to 3, 12, 4, 12, 3, 12, 4, 12. That's another useful pattern, though, so it's good to pick that one up as well. That's about all I have to say about good news. It's a great, 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 fun spiritual that you can teach somebody on their very first day. If you would like a PDF of that, please come over to my patreon.com/uke site, and you can subscribe at any level, and you'll have access to that PDF as well as all the other PDFs that I'm creating for all my new videos. Also, if you would like notifications, please hit the subscribe button and click on the bell icon so that you'll get notifications about new videos when they come out and tutorials. I've got a whole series of videos in the works, and going to be posting a lot of regular content, so please go ahead and subscribe and join me back here on YouTube. In the meantime, learn up, and I hope you enjoyed that.